So I don't have a huge amount written down for this reaction, because I mean it kept me more engaged and anything. It kept me just like more actually watching the episode than anything else. And I feel like, I mean, plot wise, a lot of stuff happened, but again, at the same time, I feel like not a lot of stuff did happen. Like this was definitely a shocker of an episode, but it and it is an episode that kind of turned the tables for sure, but at the same time, it's like, that was pretty much it, but it wasn't like gravity defying or anything like that. But to start off with, so we kind of figured that from the beginning, like from the moment that he actually tried to part ways with Gellar, that Travis would be afraid of him, and that he would be afraid for his sister. Um, and him just to like constantly telling him to stay away and just not even letting him inside the house was just like an obvious sign. And Gellar, he is one persistent creepy ass dude. That's blatantly obvious for sure. But yeah, I was definitely afraid that his sister was gonna bite the dust in somewhere. Like, I mean, from the beginning I felt like, for whatever I think like for whatever reason, I was thinking like, oh my god, like so something might happen where Gellar secretly decides that Travis's sister needs to become the next victim, but it might take place during a time where Travis is still loyal to Gellar and he still gets the message and that whole kind of ideology. So Gellar might just do it thinking that, oh, Travis is going to understand. He's going to understand why I did it. He's going to know it's the Whore of Babylon, all this stuff, and he's going to forgive me for doing it because he knows why it needs to be done. But then with this one, it's a lot more painful knowing that, like Dexter said, like the other ones had numbers in them, and they were properly set up because Travis was working alongside Gellar at the time, and he was fully involved with it. He knew what to do. He knew how to do it. He was loyal to Gellar. But now this one, Lisa's one, it wasn't. I mean, it was a tabloid interpretation, like it was an interpretation of the Whore of Babylon tabloid thing. But mainly speaking, like DDK wise, it was a tabloid thing, but predominantly it was a message to Travis and a message to Deborah as well, because she spoke to Lisa. But it was also like, it definitely was like a punishment kind of death. Like, like Travis tried to part ways with Gellar. He told Gellar to go away. He warned Gellar. He threatened Gellar. He just refused to go back to Gellar and get together in anyway. So Gellar did this to punish him and to show him that this is what happens when you disobey God or any of that stuff, or even if you did disobey Gellar. So that definitely sent Travis off the rails. But damn, yeah, just like I was so sad. Like when they showed the crew at the school, I was like, oh, like maybe Travis, maybe Gellar accidentally killed Travis, or maybe he killed Travis to make a point. Like, you disobey God, you pay the price for it with your own life. But then as they got closer, I was like, as they got closer to the curtain rails, I was like, wait, no, please don't be Lisa, please don't be his sister. Please don't pull off a twist like that. And then they pull the body back, and it is a girl's body, and I was like, oh god, this is becoming all too real. And then they finally pull the mask off, and it is in fact Lisa. It is in fact Lisa. That was horrible to see, absolutely horrible. Because I mean, I think Travis was waiting for the school day to finish and for the kids to come running out so that he could go in and talk to Lisa and to get her to go away for the weekend. I think that's what he was waiting for. But then Gellar was there pretty much for the same thing, and he just happened to be able to run into, like, he likely knew Travis would be there because Travis warned him to stay away from Lisa. So Travis would likely try in any method to try and keep her safe for as long as possible. So he knew that Travis would be there, and then he knocked him out and then chained him up in the church. And then probably afterwards he went back to actually kill Lisa as well. But damn, R.I.P. to Lisa. R.I.P. to Lisa. She was an innocent soul. She did not deserve any of that. I want to see Gellar die, and painfully for that, and we might that might just happen actually, because now at the end of the episode we have Travis agreeing to help Dexter kill Gellar, and I think that agreement was even partially out of the need for vengeance and out of anger, because, you know, he, as like the closer that Gellar got to unveiling that he did in fact kill Lisa and paint her out as the whore of Babylon, the closer he got to that, the angrier Travis got, until he saw the painting and he saw Lisa's image painted over it. That was what finally set him off. So now he's ready to kill Gellar. Now he's ready to kill Gellar. He has nothing left to lose. You know, Lisa was the only family he had left, and now he has nothing left to lose. And now he has no one left to worry about Dexter killing. It's only himself now. So he's full of rage as well. So he definitely wants to aim that towards Gellar. So he will happily assist Dexter in killing Gellar once and for all. So I don't know how well that's gonna go. I feel like we might lose Travis in the process, something self-sacrificial, or I don't know. I feel like it's still early in this season. We've got 9, 10, 11, 12. We've still got four more episodes to go. So I feel like in that time, how close are they gonna get to actually killing Gellar, really? Because it's what I always think about when stuff like this goes down. I always think about, okay, how long have we actually got left to go in this season for this mission to be accomplished, and, you know, what does that mean? Like, the more episodes you have left to go before something big happens, or before something big is prophesized to happen, I personally can't help but wonder, okay, so this is how long we got left. You know, if it's only a couple of episodes left, it's like, okay, this actually might work, and we actually might not lose anyone. This actually might go well, and, you know, it'll be wrapped up, and then the next thing leads into the next thing. But then on the other hand, it's like, if we've got a lot of episodes to go, it's like, okay, something might go wrong. We might lose a lot of people. Someone might make a plot twisty kind of twist of betrayal or something. Something might happen. So we've got 4 more episodes left. And yeah, that means that stuff can go down in the worst of ways. So I do hope Travis makes it out alive, and he makes it long enough to, at the very least, to watch Gellar die for what he did. So yeah, but damn. But Deb as well. Deb is going to take that hard, because she was the one who spoke to Lisa, so Gellar likely saw her doing that, and then, you know, left her card as a little message. And I think, I mean, they don't know that he knows, probably until now, but all along he's known that the Miami Metro are after him. They're after DDK. So for him, this was probably his way of sending a message being like, you know, I know you know about me, and now I know about you, so stay away and let me do my work, otherwise more people will die because of your interference in my work and stuff like that. And also especially to make Deb feel guilty, because it was her card, and she was the one interviewing her about, more questioning her about Travis and everything, so she likely feels a lot of pressure from that. But Deb in this episode as well, her going to therapy and everything, and her just feeling like her finding out that Dexter did in fact go to Nebraska, which was where the Trinity killing happened. But yeah, I think she does make a good point of saying that Dexter is often closed off to her, and that he's often very distant and doesn't really tell her about much. But in his defense, it's like, you know, it's a bit of a cliched thing to say that he's protecting her, but the truth is he actually is protecting her. What he's hiding from her is the darkness of his life, the dark side of his life. He's keeping her away from that because she is one of the many anchors and one of the many light sides in his life. You know, along with what Brother Sam was, along with Harry's code, along with she is one of the things keeping him grounded and keeping him anchored, and reminding him of what's good in the world. And one of pretty much one of the if not the only kind of things left in the world that he can actually call family. But there's still a lot that he wants to protect her from, a lot that, you know, a lot about him that if she knew about, then it would change her perspective of him as her brother entirely, and to flip her world upside down. And it would make her question a lot. And I think they referenced it like a few seasons back, like when I think it was when the Bay Harbor Butcher stuff was first happening, and like Dexter envisioned all the ways he could kind of reveal to her that he was in fact the Bay Harbor Butcher. I think one of them had her just threatening to arrest him, and another one had her just straight up pulling her gun out and just blowing his brains out, and another one had her just sobbing into her hands and stuff like that. So none of the reactions he envisioned were positive, or even calm in any way. So with this, it's like telling her about anything is like, it's leading to a lot more bad than good. Even without the serial killer stuff, there's a lot of darkness in his life that he doesn't want to burden her with. And I think for him, it is very much an example of one of those relationships where it's like the burdening is definitely like a one-way street. Like, one of the parties is encouraged to talk to the other one by the other party to actually talk about their feelings and actually vent if they need to, whenever they need to. But the other one, feels that them doing the same thing is just burdening, and they want to keep all their stuff bottled up. And it's an example of that kind of relationship, which is cool. It's unquestionably unhealthy. Like, you should both feel comfortable enough to vent to whenever you need to whoever you need to within reason. But if it's a relationship like this, like whether you're friends or siblings or whatever, if it's someone and it's someone you're comfortable with, you should feel comfortable enough actually opening up to them and talking to them about whatever. And that is what Deborah is unable to achieve with Dexter here, which is I'm glad she's finally getting therapy now, because without a doubt there is a lot of stuff to do with Dexter from her childhood that has gone unexplored for her, and like a lot of stuff gone untalked about, like any issues she had with Dexter, like emotionally or mentally, that she had with Dexter that she's never really spoken to anyone about. So her getting therapy is, I feel, long overdue. So now she does I feel like, on the one hand, I feel like it would have been a better idea to just leave him for one night, to leave Gellar for one night and to actually spend the night with Deb and get that stuff over and done with. But at the same time, that's one later night you have to actually try and capture Gellar, and also to recruit, Travis to Dexter's side. So it makes sense why he did that, and now he can be rest assured that he can find Gellar with the help of Travis, and Travis will help him kill Gellar once and for all as well. So that stuff is coming. So hopefully in the next episode we'll see him actually attempting to make up for running out on Deborah, and actually making the conscious effort to actually reach out to her and talk to her and stuff like that. So yeah, but that's that. So Travis, Gellar kills Lisa, unfortunately. Travis agrees to help. I don't think much else really happened. The whole Batista and the Lewis thing, it's a common thing you see within the media, and even I think I've never seen it myself, but I've heard stories in real life of like sisters with older boyfriends. Like I have sisters with older brothers having the older brother being like in a protective kind of mentor, well, not like a mentor, but like a protective older brother for her. Just like sizing up every guy she dates or every guy she tries to go out with, and like warning him against like doing anything to her. But I think in some cases you do definitely get the ones who in this case I think it was Batista just being like, don't hope for anything too serious, or don't hope for anything to get too like romantic, because she's at that stage where she's not really ready or intent on actually getting into a serious committed relationship. Like she's at the age where she will probably go around seeing what her type is and actually experimenting with different guys and seeing who she likes and what she likes, especially romantically. So just kind of warning Lewis that not to get his hopes too high up or anything like that. But at the same time, I think even without it, just flexing back against the seat and just, making sure his little holster was nice and shiny and his gun was showing, stuff like that, being like, oh, I just don't want to get, I just want to make sure you don't get hurt. Like, yeah, sure, Batista, but like, by the bullet from your gun or by the words from your sister's mouth? Like, there's a very, very important difference between what he could get hurt by here. But yeah, I think that's like a common trope I've seen within media, like the older brother that's protective of the younger sister, and like just kind of, again, just sizing up every boy she's with. And I think and especially like a lot of that stuff with this, it happens like because Dexter is a show that aired years ago, like early 2000s, so culture for in some way, like at least for, like, I think you can safely say for the most part, like, culture was fairly different back then. There was a lot more that they could do without it coming off as like bad or negative, and like there was a lot more they could pull off that was seen as the societal norm. And I think that kind of trope that the older brother always has to be there for the younger sister and always has to just kind of interrogate and cyber stalk the boyfriend before they go on the first date to make sure they know everything about them and actually warn them against hurting the sister. And it's like, on the one hand it's sweet and all, like it's like they're actually making sure that his sister doesn't get hurt and looking out for the sister, but it's also making the guy feel like he's not good enough for the sister, or that maybe he's like, it makes him feel a bit scared, like, oh, if he so much as tells her, like playfully insults her, like mocks her a bit or something, and she pretends to be hurt, the brother might take that really seriously and just knock him right out. So something like that, like stuff like that can happen. And I think in this case, Batista, I mean, at first I figured he might have a problem with Lewis because he works with Masuka, so like hanging around with Masuka, you never know what rubs off on you. But Lewis himself has proven to be a good guy, a smart guy with some great talents and stuff, and he's like from the first day we saw of him showing Jamie his video game, like we saw they actually really get along well together. So I do hope that Batista does come to his own conclusion that he has nothing to worry about with Lewis, and that he is a good guy and that he's good for Jamie. So whether or not him and Jamie continue dating, that's up to them. But I think that kind of trope, I think it's weird to see it now, knowing that I'm watching something from back then, and it's like it just felt weird. But but yeah, that definitely happened. I don't really know what else to. I mean, nothing else really strikes me out as odd. I think there was the whole stuff going on with LaGuerta. That was like just LaGuerta being LaGuerta. Like she was like snooping in on Deb's cases and making sure that everything was topsy turvy, and trying to get those numbers up and stuff like that, and making sure the department has a good reputation. But besides from that, like, I mean, again, that's just typical LaGuerta stuff. Like, she claims to be helping out, but she could have more of an agenda at play. I mean, she even spoke to someone on the phone saying that like the job is done, and that the person is safe and everything like that. So I mean, I am thinking that might be something to do with the prostitute case. The case of dead prostitute in the bathroom, it could be something to do with that, like like she wanted that case closed really, really quickly, and for no more investigating to be done on that end. So it could be something to do with that, but I don't know. It seems very suspicious, so I'm assuming we'll find out in the next one. I also think that brother, like the guy at the funeral giving Dexter brother Sam's old Bible was like a nice touch, because again, like, given where Dexter started off at, it's not really something that even in the season where he started off at, it's not something you'd expect him even keeping around. But he found it useful for the situation with Travis. Like, he looked up a quote in the Bible. But it does. I mean, given the situation, given that he was dealing with someone who was religious and had dealt with was dealing with a religious scenario, a religious dilemma, he did feel like the best option was to look in the Bible to see what it had to say. But I do think it would be nice to see him occasionally consulting it every now and then, every time, like anytime he has like a mental dilemma of his own that he can't solve. If he does remember Brother Sam's words and actually take another peek in the Bible, I think that's like a nice piece of growth for his character. Like he does consult a light, just not the light inside of him that, you know, like Brother Sam believed was there. He does consult the light coming from Brother Sam. I think the Bible itself shows that Brother Sam passing on his own light to Dexter, in the sense that, you know, like the peace and calm he found in having the Bible close to him and always knowing that the Word of God was with him. That was what he was passing on to Dexter. But like any time he actually runs into like a mental dilemma of some kind that he can't really contemplate or figure out, I think it would be nice to see him actually checking out the Bible to see what it has to say and actually use it in terms of actual curiosity as opposed to necessity. So yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have from this one, so looking forward to seeing how Dexter and Travis work together on this and where we end up with Gellar and Deborah and everyone else. So yeah, that was Dexter Season 6 Episode 8, titled Sin of Omission. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next for Dexter. And yeah, that's it. So I will see you guys next time.